everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about my December reading wrap-up. Yeah, I'm totally late on this. But I did say I was going to do it, so I'm doing it. If you've been here for a while, you've noticed that I haven't done a reading wrap-up since March, and that March one I filmed back in October, November. And I had stated in a previous video that, you know what, I'm just going to give up on my reading wrap-ups for 2017. That year is now over. Let's move on to 2018. But I wanted to do at least a December reading wrap-up so I can, at least sort of wrap up the year that I had. The first thing that I read in December is The Ghost at the Table by Suzanne Byrne. I rated this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The general synopsis is this. There are two sisters, Cynthia and Frances, and their elderly dad needs to go in a care facility. But before he goes into this facility, he's spending Thanksgiving with Frances and her family. Frances manipulates Cynthia into coming home for the holidays and just burying the hatchet with their estranged dad. So the general synopsis is a dysfunctional family get-together at Thanksgiving. Now, 3 stars is a solid rating. I enjoyed the overall premise of the book. I enjoyed the writing. I think it's cute that the premise was, there's no point in having baggage with your family. They're always going to disappoint you, and that is true to a point. Sometimes family is just toxic, and that is the case with this family. So I don't think that, family's just going to be family. I don't think that should be applied to this family. There were a lot of plot holes in regards to past drama and the current drama, and there were some things that I wished was just wrapped up better in this book. But it was a solid read, and of course I read it. I started reading it for Thanksgiving, and I didn't quite finish it for Thanksgiving. The next thing that I read is Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood by Trevor Noah. I listened to this as an audiobook. Trevor Noah tells a series of stories from his childhood in South Africa, and all of them were compelling, they were funny as hell, and some of them were pretty heartbreaking. He didn't hold back. There was such honesty that I really appreciated in this. And before, I wasn't exactly a huge fan of his. I enjoyed his work, but I wasn't necessarily a huge fan, but that is definitely not the case anymore. I freaking love this book. I love him as a person, and both him and his mom deserve all the good things in the world, and I rated this 5 stars on Goodreads. The next 2 things that I read in December were just rereads. I reread the first book to Harry Potter and the second book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I reread these for Harry Christmas to You. It's something that I try to do every year, and I'm usually pretty successful in rereading the whole series in December. I just did not get to that this year. I paid more attention to the video challenges than I did to the actual reading. Normally it's the opposite, but I really liked doing the video challenges this year. And of course I rated both of them 5 stars. I love the series. I'm a huge fan of the series, and which makes the whole thing that's currently happening with fandom really disappointing. And the last thing that I read in December is Promise Me Dad by Joe Biden. This is just a memoir. Joe Biden just talks about the last year of his son's life. It starts off the last Thanksgiving that they had together as a family, and that's why I originally picked up the book. I'm like, this would be an interesting read for Thanksgiving. I wanted to try to read quite a few things for Thanksgiving because I feel like that's one of the holidays that I don't really get a lot of reading material for. Everyone talks about Christmas reads and fall reads, but not necessarily Thanksgiving reads. That's why I picked it up. And I was a little disappointed in it. When I picked it up and I saw it was about his son, I figured he'd get really all heart-to-heart with us, and that really wasn't the case. So like I said, it was about the last year of his son's life and what led up to him deciding not to run for president. The book was full of hope, but it was a dry read, so I ended up slogging through it. It was the last thing that I read in December, but I started it pretty early in the month. It was mostly about how he kept super busy while his son was sick. It's obvious that he doesn't take these sort of things well, and so he buried himself in his work to kind of hide from it. So definitely not something that I was expecting. I thought it would be more about his son. He did talk about his son and some things that he dealt with, but he wasn't completely open and honest about it. When his son did pass, he did let us in a little bit at that point, and that's definitely where I choked up a little bit. And the overall reasoning why he decided to not run for president was because he was still in a bad place over his son's death, and he didn't think it would be good for him or for the country if he ran for president and then won. So I wish he ran for president, but I can respect so much that he decided to make this decision like for himself. Like I personally think he did the right thing for himself. I'm not sure whether or not I said this already, but I rated this 3 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. So I had a pretty good reading month. There was a couple of 3-star reads, but mostly 5-star reads. And my goal for the year 2017 was to read 50 books. I surpassed that. I ended up reading 74 books for the year. Kind of wish that I made it to 75 just so it would be a nice cool number, but alas. Like I said in previous videos and on my Twitter page, I made a Google Doc of everything that I read for the year. So if you were interested in knowing what I did read for the year, that's available as a link down below for you guys. And I created a shelf of everything that I read on Goodreads, on my Goodreads page rather. So if you want to check out my Goodreads page and check out that shelf so you can see exactly what I talked about for each book. So if you found a book that you're interested in knowing more about, that's listed down below for you guys as well. So that's everything that I have to talk about for this video. I am planning on filming my January wrap up pretty much as soon as I wrap up on this one. So expect that video very soon, and let me know what you guys thought about these books. Feel free to talk about that down in the comments below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!